Is there a tattoo on your head? You should go get one too, boy. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, hello everyone. Thank you all for coming. Let's see. But today, before we get started, we have some housekeeping to do. Xianche, is there something you'd like to tell us? Are you prepared for this?
Yes, Master. I just wanted to repent to the Great Assembly and to Master for making mistakes during the ceremony, and then for choosing to make some changes to the melody, which could be confusing to the Great Assembly or cause people affliction or distract them from their concentration, because there would be change from what they expected, I guess.
What ceremony?
Sorry, from the Great Transference ceremony last night, when I did the Weno.
Okay. What happened, for those of you who weren't here, Master Xianche was doing the Weno, was the Weno for the Great Transference in Wei Mountain Temple. And he chose to use a different tune, and with our permission. Our ceremonies are designed, and by design, to help you do certain things, to achieve certain things for you, and for us as well. So this is not acceptable that you can choose to do as you please. There's a chain of command here. As we have more and more people, there's a chain of command. And you who have not been working in the real world are not aware of that. In the real world, you just can't do as you please. You're reporting someone. Someone is a higher position than you. Our organization is kind of different in the typical Buddhist organization, is that sometimes you report to nuns. Not all monks are qualified to lead. Not all monks are virtuous enough to lead the nuns, in my eyes. Okay? And therefore, you should know your place. You all should know your place. You can't just do as you please. Okay? And we don't even mention it as usual. We wait until you make mistakes like this, because it's not you. Many people are like that as well. You don't seem to understand that there's a structure. We are organizing ourselves to do good. As the more people we have, the more critical it becomes to organize properly. Okay? So I forgive you, because I know that behavior is driven by your manic ghosts. So be more careful next time. Okay? I apologize to all of you as well. It's my fault. It happens under my nose. It's my fault. That's fine.
Thank you, Master. I'm sorry.
Also, another housekeeping. You see, the old monk is looking pretty good, yes? I was talking to him today at lunch, and I asked him a lot of things, how his health and so forth is getting better, and I hope it gets even better after this chi. Okay, My concern for him is that I want him to have more muscles. Bulk up the biceps a little bit. I was in San Jose, and the people in San Jose was telling me that they bought some nice pews from a Vietnamese church, Catholic church, or some kind of churches. And it's about almost, not quite as big as ours. It's about 3/4 the size of our pews. And there's an engineer there and a software programmer who had to call us for help. Said they couldn't lift it. It's too heavy for them. And these are younger than I am. So I tried a little. So I lift them up like this. I said, "This is heavy?" It seems like these engineers up there, they don't exercise at all. So I hope that we have to have some kind of things to help him become stronger, especially in the legs. I notice when he kneels, he has to hold the music stand to steady himself. That shouldn't be the case, okay? So maybe we should contact the AARP or something and get some kind of trainer to help build his physical strength again. This is a mistake for old monks to ignore their physical strength, okay? So it's on me. So if anyone knows a good trainer who can train old people and don't kill him, it's just build very slowly. I'd like to do that. And he agreed to it, okay? I need him for another 10 years. So, meaning it has to be, he has to continue to improve, and both spiritually as well as physically. What you have here in front of you is my right arm for Northern California. So I have no choice but maximize its utility. Can't let him go yet. Okay, it's remarkable. He has a very, very tough life and very hard life. He's supposed to be dead by now. His family has a history of heart disease, and the person who lived the oldest in his family is an uncle who died at the age of 68. Huh? 62. He's almost 80 now. Yeah. And the old monk is improving. He continues to improve. I don't dare tell you what level he is anymore. So it's so remarkable. So keep it up, huh, old monk? Huh? All right. Okay. Back to business. How are you tonight? Okay, one more thing, housekeeping as well. I don't know about the other Asian temples, especially I remember particular when my late Chinese master's temples, when people came to participate and lived in a temple for the cheese. We used to provide them dinner as well. And I remember the food there for dinner is kind of horrible. I mean, it's like leftovers, and it's not just leftovers. Leftovers is not a big deal, right? We are cultivators, come on. But what's deplorable to me as an Asian person born in Asia is the attitude. The attitude that you have to eat dinner, and that's wrong. We all are different phases in our cultivation. Okay, so there's no need to be condescending and look down upon people, and it goes against the spirit of hospitality, and therefore the people who are the kitchen staff. Please pay attention to that. We should take good care of them in all our way places. Okay, meaning provide them with good food and respectfully take good care of them. Okay, you have to realize that these people made sacrifices. They spend money to come here and spend time away from their work and the family. So it's the least we could do is take care of them. You take care of them, I abuse them. How is that? That has to be the case, because if we kiss up to you constantly, then we're trying to sell to you. So it has to be, I don't believe it when everything is perfect. It's an image that doesn't, the only person who's perfect in my mind is Master YongHua. I've never met anyone else like him my entire life. So to me, he's perfect. But the rest of us, we can be ourselves. How's that? Okay, don't need to pretend. I hate it when the monks and nuns walk around pretending they're in samadhi and they're so cool, if you will. It's not real. Okay. All right. Anyone has any questions? Okay, very good. We jump into Master YongHua's teachings then. Feel free to ask questions when you can think of them. All right? Yes, the two questions right away. Yeah?
안녕하십니까. 저는 보라선언에서 온 입범이라고 합니다. 오늘 아미타불 연불 하면서 제가 느낀 경험을 좀 여쭙고 싶어서요. 연불 무겸을 할 때 그때 잠시 깜빡 졸다가 깼는데 정신은 굉장히 맑은 상태였고, 이제 귀에서는 아미타불이 계속 이제 염을 하면서 이제 속으로도 염을 하고 있었는데 몸에 힘이 빠지면서 몸이 이렇게 자꾸 움직이기 시작했어요. 그런데 이제 한참 그러다가 다른 분들은 다 경행을 하시는데 저는 그냥 몸이 너무 이렇게 무겁다 해야 되나요? 그렇게 일어나지를 못하겠더라고요. 그래서 계속 앉아 있었는데 그러다가 이제 문득 아미타불 불상을 제가 늘 염하는 게 있어서 살짝 염을 했는데 그때 눈물하고 콧물이 막 나기 시작했고요. 그러다가 이제 결과보자는 다리가 너무 아파서 통증 때문에 모든 게 다 사라져 버렸는데 그러다가 이제 시간이 흘러서 또 전부 다 경행을 한번 하고 다시 한번 또 앉아서 좌염을 했는데 그때도 또다시 이렇게 몸이 움직이기 시작했어요. 근데 이게 너무 피곤해서 그런지 평소에 그런 걸 못 느끼다가 이래서 그게 여쭙고 싶고, 그리고 그 다음에 선칠할 때도 1시간 하고 20분 경행을 한다고 했는데 만약에 또 제가 이런 상태가 되면 전체 흐름에 누가 될까 그런 생각이 또 잠시 들었습니다. 질문 끝입니다.
Master, this is Ipam. I'm from JCSC.
Okay.
During that Buddha recitation, I'd like to share my experience, and I have a question. What is this experience about? So during that quiet recitation time, while I was sitting, I fell asleep. And then I woke up. And then I felt that my mind was clear. However, I felt no strength in my body. And I start to feel that my body was moving. And I don't know how to say, but I felt very heavy. And I couldn't get up. And everybody else was getting up and walking around the Buddha halls, but I couldn't do it. So at the time, there's Amitabha statue that I usually contemplate. So I imagine that Amitabha statue, and I start to crying, and I have a runny nose and all that stuff. And time passed, and everyone started to sit again. And I noticed that I start to move again. and this never happened before. I was quite concerned about it. So during Chanchi, I understand we need to sit 1 hour and 20-minute walk. What if the same thing happens? Am I going to bother others?
Let's ask them. Would you be bothered, the rest of you, if she does that during the Chanchi? Who would be bothered by that? Raise your hand, please. That's your answer. Don't worry. I've been to a place recently where someone makes a lot of noises when he meditates. In some of the tapes, you might hear some sort of like someone being tortured in the background. And it's funny because we are so used to it. These people are suffering, they're in pain, they couldn't help themselves, and they're fighting hard. And so no one budged. People were like, let him die. So don't worry, very little things, very few things this world can disturb us, okay? Don't worry. All right. Anyone else? Yes. Yeah.
A Di Đà Phật, thưa thầy, con có cô em gái đã chết rồi, thì cô bị lung cancer. Trong cái thời gian về cuối cùng, cô take rất là nhiều cái painkiller, cô không có ăn uống gì được mà lại còn bị constipate nữa. Mấy đứa con của con á, nó mới có mấy người bạn, nó sẽ xin được cái chocolate mà nó có marijuana ở trong đó thầy. Nó advise là dùng cái đó thì không có bị constipate mà cũng đỡ đau. Thì con không hiểu là theo như là nếu mà mình là người giữ được những cái 5 cái precept như tụi con đó, thì có nên dùng không thưa thầy? A Di Đà Phật.
Master, I have a question that I have a sister that she died from lung cancer, and when she was at the last stage of her life, and then she was taking the painkiller, she couldn't eat, but she has constipation. So people would advise her to take this kind of chocolate that has marijuana in there. It will help with the pain, and then it helps with the constipation. So my question is, for us who already took the 5 precepts, should we use it?
For you, I feel that in this case here, it's okay. Personally, I feel it's okay to take painkillers because it helps calm your mind down. My concern is that if not so much that breaking the 5 precepts, I'm more concerned about the fact that if you are in great pain and when you pass, it will be disastrous. You will fall. Okay? It's very unlikely you'll make it. So that's why I prefer that you should do something to think of the next lives instead of just this life here. You're at the end of this life here. So to me, you break the 5 precepts, big deal. Okay? But I'm more worried about what's going to happen to you if you die in such great pain. You're going to fall. And unless you get the proper help, it's not going to be good. Okay? It would be terrible. So any little thing helps to me. Okay? If you take the 5 precepts from me, then I have no problems with that. My 5 precepts, tolerates that. It's not for yourself. It's for, this is extraordinary circumstances. 3.
Dạ, thưa, còn cái trường hợp của ông anh con á, cũng bị lung cancer. Rồi cái ngày cuối cùng á, anh muốn gọi 911 để đi vào trong nhà thương. Thì con không có được đi theo xe, con đi sau. Thì khi vào tới đó, họ đã dùng cái máy, theo như con nhớ một lần thì nó gọi là resuscitation, để mà revive, anh không có đủ oxygen để thở thầy. Rồi cái after đó họ cho 2 cái ống vào lỗ mũi của ảnh để nó xuống dưới cái lưng, để mà nó support cái lưng của ảnh cho có oxygen. Con nghĩ hình như là đâu 2 ngày sau á, thì mà lúc đó con nhìn thấy cái ống nó pump á, thì máu nhiều lắm, tại vì nó phải đút cái ống nó qua cái lỗ mũi để xuống dưới cái lưng. Con thì bác sĩ họ có nói, 2 người bác sĩ họ có nói rằng là nên lấy cái ống ra, tại vì anh không có cái chance gì hết. Thì con thấy họ advise như vậy thì con cũng nghe lời để con làm. Nhưng mà khi mà đã rút ra rồi đó, thì bên family của con có người chị, thì có mấy đứa cháu nó là doctor, thì nó nói là nên rút trở lại. Thì con thấy ảnh go so much pain, con decide là không có làm chuyện đó. Nhưng mà con vẫn feel guilty, là không biết con có bị ảnh hưởng trong những cái chuyện đó không. Cái đó là cái thứ nhất. Với lại cái thứ hai là nếu mà trường hợp con cũng bị như ảnh, thì con có nên dùng cái machine đó để revive không? Dạ, A Di Đà Phật.
Master, I have another question. So my brother, he also died from lung cancer, and then on the last day he called 911 so that they can brought him to the hospital, and then I follow him with my car. By the time I get to the hospital, I learned that they use the resuscitation machine in order to revive him. And then because he didn't have enough oxygen in his lung, so they have to put the tube through his nose all the way to the lung. And then I saw that it pumped a lot of blood out, so it's painful. And then the doctor advised me that he has no chance, so probably you can take out the tube. And I listened to the doctor advice, and then I took it out. And then later on, some of the family member, my niece, my nephews, some of them were doctor, and then they told me that I should put back the tube. And then I heard them, but I didn't follow their advice, so now I feel guilty. And so my question is, like, if I am in that case, I am about to die, and then should I let them to use the machine to revive me?
In this case here, I feel that you should have let your family members decide, not you, because you are in much better position to handle the stress and the pain and suffering yourself from watching all these things. However, they can't handle it. So there's no need for you to contradict them and make them add more afflictions on top of their grief already. Okay, so it's precepts. Buddhist precepts are meant to help you. So in this case here, you are observing precepts to help yourself, but that does not help your relatives, and that it's not good enough for us. Okay? In that case, you should let them decide, because out of consideration for them. Okay? So I think it's wrong for you to go against a wish. Okay? Maybe it could be because of karmic reasons, karmic retribution, that your brother, your younger brother, had to undergo all that physical treatment, and by the wishes of his own family members. But that's not something. It's not up to us to decide what's best for him. Okay, it's not our decision. Yeah, so it's unwise for you to. This is why it's so dangerous for you to apply small knowledge. You know a little bit about precepts, but precepts in Mahayana is this huge thing here that's way beyond the interpretations of the Hinayana mindset. Okay, I'm talking about Hinayana mindset is the ones that maybe they wear clothes like me, okay, like us, practicing Mahayana Dharma doors, but they're practicing only for their sake. So they're only getting the Hinayana part of Mahayana Dharma door. So by the time they reach certain fruitions, it's only in the narrow alley for Hinayana. That's all. And that's not I want for you at all. Okay? Precepts to me are in order to help you get there quicker. Okay? But not at the expense of becoming a selfish, self-serving, what else? Anyone think of some adjectives for me, please? Huh? Self-serving, huh? If that's what you have, you don't need my help. You come here and you observe, you get there. And there's nothing to worry about. But if that's what you want, you insist on that, you make it eventually, but not with my help. Okay? Yeah. Anything else? This is what's deplorable to me, that I went to Taiwan and learned about precepts. And because my master's temple, they didn't understand precepts. I asked them point blank, what does it mean? And they made a mistake of assigning a monk to teach me precepts after reading the books. Okay, so when I asked him questions, he didn't know how to answer them, which created a very, very, I was very, very disappointed. I said, I spent my life being here, shake my head and do all these stupid things. And you can't even teach me about precepts, Buddhist precepts? And you're going to teach me? Really? So I was very disappointed. For people like me, who are much more demanding than the normal people, such dharmas cannot reach them, if you will. Okay, so I went to Taiwan, learned the Chinese language, in order to go to this precept temple to learn about precepts, because I couldn't learn it here. I went there and learned, and they're very, very good. I learned a lot, but I also came out disappointed, because now I look back, I'm disappointed, because just like these people, like the other people, they interpret precept in such a narrow, such a limited part of the Buddha's teaching. They're wrong. They don't understand precepts at all. Okay? Let me give you the spirit of the precepts. Yes, I hope in the future you kids will go to Taiwan and learn more about precepts. Okay? While you still have a chance, I will help you or support you when you have enough manpower. But But in order to understand the Hinayana concept of precepts, but for us Mahayana, I just give you the hint. Mahayana precepts are in order to help you solidify your foundation, but never at the expense of harming others or afflicting others. Okay, when we practice this Mahayana Dharma doors here, we're not supposed to afflict others. You have to show consideration for others. Whether they're wrong or whether they are inferior, we still must be considerate. We all have the Buddha nature. So don't think so highly of yourself. It's nonsense. The world is not built alone on right and wrong. This world here, the reason that Mahayana is here in the world, especially the Pure Land Dharma door here, when you think about it, it's here. It's because my master brought it here. It's because of outer compassion. In Buddhism, you look at the Buddhist teaching, okay? For children, if you will, it's right and wrong, because we need to teach them about right and wrong initially. For adults, there's something called compassion. There's something called being considerate. And that's Mahayana. Sometimes in Mahayana, if you have wisdom, it's perfectly okay to be wrong out of compassion, out of kindness. That's Buddhism. It's not like, ooh, I can't make mistakes. I have to be perfect. You're not fooling me. All right, anyone else? Okay, and that's continue learning from this great Chinese master here and see what he taught his students about Pure Land Buddhism and see we could improve upon that. Go.
要不怕难的，你们就来试一试；要怕难的，你就向后转。我绝对不用绳子把你们绑上，用绳子把你们拉来。我是还是自由的，不过你来不来，你随你自己的意思。你没有车没有船，你可以飞。
But whether you come or not is up to you. If you don't have a vehicle or a boat, you can fly over.
怕难 is not translated. Why not?
Sorry, the play, it didn't start at the exact place, so it was a few slides from forward.
Okay.
可以飞来。我告诉你们，在我这个，您派我做师傅啊，绝对不可以随随便便的、马马虎虎的说是那么样子，不可以，不可以，你不要那么多口，一讲起来就没有完了。
Say it's like that. It's not okay. Once I start talking, I will go non-stop.
I think you're out of sync.
There's
You're here.
yeah, there's some duplication for whatever reason. It was reduced. It should not happen. Why?
Okay, so I make a comment here. Master YongHua says, If you have me as a teacher, then you cannot be casual at all. Okay, and I don't know who were there, the people there at the time. This is in the 1970s, and a lot of them were, quite a few of them were like hippies or homeless people. He didn't have the best of the people at first. And so that's why the point. You cannot be casual. You cannot be lax about it. Yes, Q&A.
Hello? Hello? Okay? Okay. Hi, Master. I would like to use my daily quota of hard question. So my question is, how do I tell if a thought comes from wisdom or not?
Oh, that doesn't count. Okay, so how do you know that the thought comes from wisdom or not? Well, the rule of thumb, if you must ask, then it's not from wisdom. One day when you have real wisdom, then you say, that's it. But that's a good question. Most scholars in particular, they tend to dwell on knowledge, on the abundance, the vastness of their knowledge about Buddhism. But they don't understand Buddhist teachings, whether you recite the Buddha's name after a week and so forth, is not beyond you developing that wisdom. Okay? Whether you do chant, whether you recite the Buddha's name, whether you recite mantras, it's all about for the purpose of you unfolding that wisdom. All the suffering you endure, okay, is for the unfolding of wisdom. And so you hear suffering in a way because you take time away from your family and endure the leg pains and lack of sleep, and your neighbors who snore, I heard. Is that true? It's time now to denounce the people who snore. Okay, see how nice they are. They see you have nothing to worry about. You're worried about that you make noises, but at night some people make noises too. So where was I? Yes, Peter.
Thank you, Master. You were talking about how do you know if a thought comes from wisdom or not?
Right, thank you. So all these things we do here, okay, yes, for the Chanchi, you hear the express purpose, the first long-term goal is, I hope that you'll apply efforts and do the right things in order to create blessings to go to the Pure Land. Pure Land Dharma doors, people, the Asians like to teach their own that you recite the Buddha's name in order to go to the Pure Land. I teach it differently, slightly differently. I teach you the Pure Land Dharma door. The first thing you do is don't worry about going to the Pure Land. Okay? Worry about creating a lot of blessings, Pure Land blessings. Okay? Because imagine, for example, you're somewhere else, a different world, different galaxy, and you heard about this beautiful world here, where there's Mahayana in the United States, and you want to come here. Okay? You want to make sure that you go to a good part of this world. You don't want to go to the wrong countries. Does it make sense? right? And you want to learn Mahayana nowadays, you have to go to the U.S., like many of you have done here. You have to come in order to, because the Mahayana wisdom is in the U.S. monks and nuns. That's why it's called American Mahayana. It's people who are Americans here, who are residents here, not necessarily the skin color, okay, but the residents here. That's why you have to come to this country in order. If you're seeking true Mahayana, it's here, no longer in China or India, for that matter. Okay, so you want. When you go to the Pure Land, similarly, it's the same thing. You have to think about blessings first. Okay, the Asians are desperate. Their Pure Land blessing, they learn what's left of it. And nowadays, it's like, I'm so desperate. I need to go to the Pure Land. I'm suffer so much here. It's too much suffering. I'm not happy here. I'm out of here. What's the Chinese Pure Land Dharma door? What is it called? Yin Li. Yin is Tao Yin. Yin. Okay, meaning they're so disgusted that they want to leave. Okay, and that's a Chinese Pure Land Dharma door. They said, what's so great about here in this world? What's so great about being rich? What's so great about being powerful? What's so great about being in love? Okay? So once you have those things, you find that it's still a lot of suffering. You don't put an end to your suffering just because you become a king. Okay? Now, the king of Thailand nowadays, they're talking about the young king of Thailand. They're unhappy with what he's done so far. I can't criticize him, because if I say anything bad about him, when I happen to be inside Thailand, I could be arrested. That's called lèse-majesté in French, meaning that you cannot offend the king, the royalty. Okay, that's still they still have that law in the country. That used to be in the old times, where there's still kings and queens, and if you do a lèse-majesté, they can kill you. Okay, so in Thailand, if you do a lèse-majesté, you offend the king, criticize the king and the queen, and they can throw you in jail. It's a law. There's such a law. Okay, so apparently his father is pretty good. His father was a politician, and he had good relationships with the other world leaders, but apparently right now people are unhappy, so they're talking about changes in the monarchy. So he ran away to Germany, where he's more comfortable. Okay, and so you want to this Pure Land Dharma door here. The way the Chinese said to these the Asians who are so desperate, they said Yin Li. Yin is I'm so disgusted with this place. I'm so disgusted with my mother that I want to leave as soon as possible. Yes, I love her, but occasionally this disgust is so strong, and that's what motivates me to leave. Okay, and that's not Pure Land Dharma door at all. It's for desperate people. Are we desperate? Are you desperate? You don't look desperate to me. Why? So this Yin Li here, the Chinese would like to teach their own kind that that's a Pure Land Dharma door. So you're so disenchanted, disgusted with this our world here, that you want to get away from it and go to a much better place. We're not like that. Okay, when we go over there, okay, have more class. Okay? Don't just be. I want you to go to the Vietnamese quarters where it's very high class. Among other quarters. It's not exclusively Vietnamese. But I'm joking, of course. The point here is that what they're not teaching you is that the first thing about Pure Land Dharma door is about Pure Land blessings. It's not about rebirth. It's Pure Land blessings. So that when you go there, you go to the good places, the superior places that you deserve to be. Ching. This is a sales pitch, by the way. American Pure Land Dharma door. Okay? Because you're special. Because you deserve it. Okay? Let the Asians go to the poor quarters. We go to the good places. And we're not going to go until it's ready. You understand? I know I'm joking about this, but we're not desperate, are we? Because there is in the Pure Land Dharma door, there's a monk who practices his entire life, didn't get enlightened. Okay? Chan monk, he didn't get enlightened. So toward the end of his life, he's taught the Pure Land Dharma door. I said, looks like you're not going to make it. You're going to become enlightened. You're going to not know whether a thought is a thought of wisdom or a stupid thought. Okay? So they said, recite the Buddha's name. This is your last hope. So he recited the Buddha's name. And so when it's time for him to go, he saw Amitabha Buddha. This is in the Pure Land anecdotes. He saw Amitabha Buddha appear in front of him, towing along him, behind him, a silver lotus days. And Amitabha Buddha, in the American version, not the Chinese version, Amitabha says, hop on. The Americans have no manners, The Asian, would you like to come on? No, the American, hop on. And so this guy, being a Chinese monk, he says, no, you have no manners, Buddha. So Buddha said, why not? He says, I'm not going. So Amitabha Buddha had to go home. Can you imagine this Chinese guy? I mean, he has no manners either. He blamed the Buddha for having no manners, but he's the one who actually is ill-mannered. So went home. So this guy said, so he continued to recite the Buddha's name. And pretty soon, Amitabha Buddha appeared in front of him again. Now, towing behind him, lotus days made of gold. And Amitabha Buddha says, now Amitabha Buddha knew. So he said, would you like to get home? He said, if you put it that way, yeah. Okay, so hop on. So the Chinese are proud of it. They say, you see, this is Chinese wisdom that somehow it got lost. I'm trying to remind you. Go to a good place. Don't go to a silver lotus days. Come on, you're better than that. Okay? In fact, for some of you, don't even go. Yes, the old monk has something to say.
A Di Đà Phật. Theo con hồi trước giờ con cũng theo tịnh độ mấy chục năm rồi, thì cũng đa phần mấy người theo tịnh độ, kể cả con lúc đầu là chỉ muốn như thầy nói, muốn thoát khỏi thôi, để lên tịnh độ thôi. Nhưng mà càng về sau đó, có một lần năm 2008 con dự một cuộc Phật thất 3 ngày sau cái Thanksgiving 2008 á, 4 giờ khuya cũng lăng nghiêm thập chú rồi đi lại Phật, ngồi lại Phật. Thì đến 3 giờ chiều đó thì tất cả vọng tưởng bất thình lình nó dừng hết. Chỉ còn cái Nam Mô Di Đà Phật đó, mình không có biết cái vọng tưởng mình ở đâu hết, mà nó kéo như vậy 3 ngày. Thì sau này càng học càng theo thầy đó. Bây giờ nè, thì càng coi những kinh tịnh độ đó, cũng giống với Đại Thừa, cũng giống Minh Thiền chứ không có khác gì hết á. Là đầu tiên hành giả phát tâm, chứ hồi nãy tối nay mình tụng hồi hướng nó cũng có đó. Sau 88 vị Phật thì cái tịnh độ văn đó, vì đạo Bồ Đề cầu sanh tịnh độ, tức là phải phát tâm Bồ Đề, tâm làm Phật, cầu sanh tịnh độ, nhưng phải chạy vượt biên qua đó để khỏi khổ. Thì khi phát tâm được như vậy á, thì tịnh độ với thiền nó không khác nhau. Tại sao? Tại bên thiền Hòa Thượng có dạy, Hòa Thượng Tuyên Hóa có dạy là tham thoại đầu, tham thoại vĩ. Thì Hòa Thượng nói trước khi cái tư tưởng nó khởi lên, và khi tư tưởng nó tắt rồi, thì nhìn cái chỗ đó là cái gì? Là chỗ con không có vọng tưởng đó, một thứ thôi. Tại mà mình phân biệt là thiền với tịnh nó khác. Thực sự mà Hòa Thượng Tuyên Hóa dạy biểu tham thoại đầu thoại vĩ. Trước khi tư tưởng ông khởi đó, ông dòm trong tâm ông coi. Rồi tư tưởng nó lên rồi nó diệt, ông dòm cái chỗ không nó coi. Thì giống ịch như cái không con thấy hồi năm 2008 thôi. Rồi con xin hết. Kinh tịnh độ nào cũng bắt mình phải là phát tâm Bồ Đề hết. Và có cái lòng khao khát Phật Pháp và phát tâm Bồ Đề. Xin hết.
So, Master, I've been practicing Pure Land Dharma for 20, 30 plus years. And, majority of people in the beginning, we just want to get away from the suffering so that we want to go to the Pure Land. And in 2008, I have a chance to participate into a Foji and 3 days Foji. And it was like after Thanksgiving, I remember that the way they organize, like in the morning, we also recite Surangama mantra, and then the 10 small mantra, and then after that, we will recite the Buddha's name. And then I remember like after 3 p.m., suddenly all of my thoughts just disappear. And all I can hear is just the name Emitofuo. And I was in that state for 3 days. And then later on, I have a chance to learn from Master, and then the more I learn, the more I know that I discovered that the first thing, doesn't matter what Dhamma you practice, but the first thing is you need to bring forth the Bodhi mind. And then you need, when you bring forth the Bodhi mind, it's like you need to really have a desire to go to the Pure Land. And if you continue to practice higher and higher, then chant, meditation, and Pure Land are the same. There's no difference. And I remember like Master YongHua, he taught about Hoa Thou, and he said like you contemplate the head or the tail, and then you need to contemplate on the head, do not focus on the tail. And then the head is meaning that you need to contemplate to the moment that be in between, before the thought arise. And then that moment is actually just the emptiness. It is similar to the state that I experienced during the Foji. So in conclusion, the most important thing is to bring forth the Bodhi mind.
Yes, 4.
Master, how do we build Pure Land blessings? What do we have to do to build Pure Land blessings, please?
You learn as you go along. but it's like, do not blow wind behind my back. That's not building Pure Land blessings. It takes you to understand the general principles first. Okay, when you practice Pure Land Dharma door, first thing you do is build Pure Land blessings. And as you go along, you go through these schedules here, and you come here and you read the books and listen to the instructions, whether it's from me or from Master YongHua or from the great Chinese Pure Land patriarchs. You see, that should build Pure Land blessings. Okay, so a lot of it, a lot of the blessings that you build, you learn, it will be from your own discoveries. Okay, but the principle is that you need capital. You want to start a business in the Pure Land, you need capital. You want to buy a property in the Pure Land, it's very expensive. Okay, so that's Pure Land blessings. All right. But eventually, you get more and more. It's part of giving. You build blessings by giving. It's the giving paramita. Yes, 8.
Master, what happened if we were to wish for the highest grade and in the end we did not get it? Where would we go? Do we go back to this world? Or would we still be able to go to Pure Land?
I'm sorry, I missed the first 2 sentences.
Like for the,
He repeat what you just said.
For the people who want to go with the highest grade and in the end they could not get it, would they go back to this world or would they still be able to go to Pure Land still?
The people who go there and they don't get it and they go back to this world. I missed the first sentence now. It's improvement.
No, people who wanted to go to the Pure Land with the highest grade.
You go to work like that? The boss says, would you mind repeating what you just said? Yeah, I just said this. You're not going to get a raise if I were your boss.
Master, I just make the wish for a well-paid job, so I hope to get it.
We're talking about Pure Land blessings. You're confusing them together. They're different. So what's your question again? The first sentence, I couldn't catch. You wish to go there.
If we wanted to wish to go to the Pure Land with the highest rebirth grade, and in the end, if we cannot match that, would we still be able to go to Pure Land still?
I just told you that story, that monk. He said, are you kidding me? Okay? Are you that kind of person? If you're not that kind of person, then be desperate. I don't care. Huh? So, you go to Pure Land because you want to go to the high grade, okay? So it's not like, what if I can't go? You're so self-defeating, so defeatist spirit. And with that monk, he says, hey, Buddha, if I offend you, tough luck. You know? You see? You go, the things that will never change is that when you create these Pure Land blessings, eventually they will show up and then you go to these good places and the good grades. What if you can't? Never happened to me before. I don't know. I'm trying to instill the spirit in you. that shoot for the big prize. Don't be like the Asians. Those Chinese people, or those people, I just go to the Pure Land. No, we just don't want to go to Pure Land. We want to go to the great Pure Land. Okay? And if it means that we don't make it this time, then I'll try again. Who am I to guarantee you? Did you ask him for guarantee from me?
Master, if we can, would we be able to see Master again?
On the other hand, if you're among those desperate people, I just want to go to Pure Land, I just want to go Pure Land, and join the ranks. See if any of them goes at all.
Master,
because it's a wrong mindset. If you're desperate, let me put it this way. You come to my temple and you say, can I stay here for the Fochi? And look at you and say, you look too desperate. No, I'm not going to let you in here. You understand? It's the same kind of thinking. Emitofuo Buddha looks at you and says, these Asians, they're so desperate. We're not desperate people here. Dream on. Have you thought of that? I mean, no one ever tells them that. You're too desperate. Why would the Buddha want to bring you back?
Master, if I forced to be back, can I see Master again next life?
In the Pure Land?
Wherever you go.
None of your business. I've seen you with this lifetime, that's enough. Okay, anyone else? Yes. 7.
Ước tịnh độ tông có đó là ngày hình như là con nhớ không rõ nhưng mà hình như là ngày Trí Giả Đại Sư đó. Thì khi ngài sắp sửa tịch đó, ngài hội đệ tử lại, ngài nói mục tiêu của ta là thượng phẩm thượng sanh. Mà bị dẫn chúng rồi lo chuyện chùa chiền nên ra ta bị phiền não cho nên ta không có được thượng phẩm thượng sanh, mà ngài cũng chấp nhận ngài đi cái phẩm thấp hơn. Ngài mục tiêu của ta là phải cao lắm nhưng mà bị dẫn chúng chùa chiền này nọ rồi ta không có được mà chuyên nhất để mà cao như phẩm ta muốn, mà ta cũng đi.
You believe that? These Asians believe anything. Translate for them.
Master, I remember that I read somewhere in the book about Pure Land, and then the monk, I think like his name is Chucha. And then he said that
I don't know the Sarah gets it. Chucha is one of the great Chinese masters. Can you send her the Chinese characters, please?
So he said that his goal was to get rebirth to the Pure Land with like upper grade. But before he died, he gathered his disciples together and say that I set my goal like that, but I couldn't achieve it this lifetime because I was so busy taking care of the temple and taking care of you guys and other things. So even though I couldn't reach the upper grade, but I still consent to go to the Pure Land with lower grade.
He's upper grade, not low grade. So he lied to the Chinese. Okay? Clearly, the Chinese believe anything. There's no such a Dharma. And Master YongHua said the same thing. He said, I'm so busy working and doing these things, and that's why my Kung Fu could be a lot higher, might have a much better spiritual power, and so forth. That's not true. It's true to a certain extent, but it's not. Master Chucha happened to be very high grade, so it's not true that he would go to a low grade. It's not true at all. What he taught there for the Chinese is so Chinese. This is why the non-Chinese tend to misunderstand that. In particular, the young Chinese people, they lost that reference points already because they're becoming westernized. when he said that it's out of humility. He says, I don't deserve to, I'm not good enough to go to a high grade, super high grade. He's super high grade. He's like a purple golden. He's not just golden like the Chinese Chan monk. Why would you go with the golden days? What's the matter with you? Chinese are too easily bought. So Master Chucho said that to teach humility to his pupils, okay? And more importantly, which is so Chinese, that you cannot take it literally, especially you non-Chinese people. When he said that, he meant that I am practicing Pure Land Dharma doors, and in doing this, I'm gonna sacrifice myself. Okay, I'm sacrificed myself, and because of this self-sacrifice he's been making his entire life, that's Pure Land blessings. All right, yes, 5.
From Cordelia, how can I cultivate Bodhisattva blessings to help others when I have the wisdom to do so?
Continue to do what you've been doing. Anyone else? Yes, too.
Mô Phật bà thầy, đêm hôm có cái chú đó thì chú hỏi đó là bây giờ mình không có tiền đó, mình làm sao làm bài vị được đi. Thầy con ngọ nó nghe được á, thầy nó mới khiếu nại ngọ, nó mới về, nó mới hỏi con đó là mình tu mà không có tiền rồi làm sao mà mình được đi. Người ta vô chùa người ta tu không khỏi tiền. Rồi nó kêu tôi giải thích cái câu này cho nó nghe. Thầy ngọ mới giải thích như vậy nè. Nói mình đi chùa phải mình làm phước, mình cúng dường, mình bố thí. Mà nói gì nó không biết, có biết nghe không nữa. Chắc nó không biết nghe đâu, nó nghe không được. Mình nói gì cho nó nghe. Phải bố thí, mình muốn đi Tây Phương đó thì mình phải kiếm cái tiền mình gửi nhà băng A Di Đà, mai mốt mình mới đi được. Mà không biết nó có biết nghe không. Nói nó đêm nay nó không lại luôn. Nó nghe nó không có thích. Rồi cái tôi nói bây giờ tôi nói như vậy á, thằng lớn thì nó giải thích. Nhiều khi nó không biết tiếng Anh đó. Nhiều khi nó biết tiếng Việt mình nói nó không có biết nghe đâu. Rồi nhiều khi con ngồi dịch cho nó nghe nó cũng lắc đầu, nó cũng không có ấn tượng cho ấy. Mà nó coi cái kinh sách của Phật đó rất là nhiều, mà nó nói rất là giỏi. Mà cái đó là mình nghĩ đó, bởi vì hồi đó nó chồng đó, nó coi rồi nó về nó nói cho mình nghe, thì mình nghe nó nói á, thì nó nói về cái kinh sách cái đạo Phật đồ cũng rất là hay. Tôi nói thôi bây giờ đừng có coi, ngưng lại, đừng có coi, mình biết rồi. Coi đó nó biết, không có người ta giải thích cho nó, không có người ta khai thị cho nó cũng ấy gì, thôi đừng có nghe. Mà thiệt chiếc này ra thì nó nói gì á, tại sao mà mình đi tu mà tại sao mà thầy lấy tiền mình không có tiền thì sao mà ấy. Nó ấy, mình mới trả lời câu này. Nên là bây giờ tôi trả lời mình cái câu rất là dễ. Bây giờ giống mày tu đi, mày cắt cái chùa, rồi mày không có bố thí cho người ta, rồi mày không có cúng dường cho người ta, rồi mai mốt á mở cái chùa, rồi người ta đâu có cúng dường cho nị, thấy không đó, rồi người ta đâu có lại làm phước cho, lại cúng dường lại cho nị đâu. Nên nó nói mà nó không có hiểu đâu thầy.
Very good. Okay, stop. Don't ruin it. It's such a good one. But this is your quota for the evening. No more questions from her.
Master, yesterday there was a man that asking me like...
It's a younger son.
No, someone asked that person didn't have money, and how can that person request a black, and then the son heard that. And then the son was questioning her like, you cultivate and then you don't have money, then how can you find money to give to the temple? And then I try to explain to them that, you go to the temple, your job is to create blessing, you need to make a donation, to practice giving, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, for example, if you want to go to the Pure Land, you need to have money to deposit into Amitabha Buddha's banking account, and that money is the blessing. And then I speak to him in Vietnamese, but he didn't understand. And then I have my older son explain to him, but he still shake his head. He didn't buy into it. So that's why today he disappeared. He didn't come.
Okay, stop. Don't need to translate anymore. It would ruin the question. The question is very pointed. Not sure it's her son or her. Okay, we don't know about these spies. Okay, fair question. I allowed you to ask questions. Again, remember, one hard question per evening only. For you, actually, you use up the quota for the entire week. No one ever dare ask me this question point blank. Okay, in public. In private, yes. Never in public. Okay, so now it's asked in public. I'm going to ask Master Z to answer it. He thinks he's going to sit here and relax. Oh, I'm sorry. No one here to bother me. They're all in the United States. Well, how do you answer this? Can't hear you. Unmute yourself.
Didn't get the question.
Translate into Korean for him. He heard it in Vietnamese, in English. He says, "See, I don't get it. I don't believe you." Let me summarize it for you. Her son, her beloved younger son, says, your temple, your master forces you to pay in order to go to the Pure Land. What kind of Dharma is that? So if people don't have money, they can't go to the Pure Land? That's why I never wanted to be nice to this guy, honestly. Okay, how do you answer that?
The principle is still that we need the blessings to go there. So we have to create blessings. So the money is just help us to create blessing, Pure Land blessings.
What if, the question is, what if I don't have money? I can't go to the Pure Land? That's his objection.
I think there's other ways to create blessings too, you know. So you can go to the temple and...
Okay, very good. Anyone else would like to help out Master Z? Okay, Master Z could not answer the question today for the record. So now, help him out. Okay. Let's give this young man here a collective answer. What do you have to say for yourselves? Hey, quickly, yes.
I say it's not for everyone, so...
Not for everyone.
Please go to...
No heart. Yes. 1.
Sounds like you need to generate blessings to get a job.
Generate blessing, get a job. Oh, this is he has no compassion whatsoever. 8. So American. 8.
Master, I believe there's a lot of ways to get blessings, like coming to the Fochi and reciting the Amitabha's name, and maybe helping in the kitchen. I mean, there's a lot of ways besides money for getting blessings.
But he says that, I can't pay. People who are poor, they can't pay. So you're not going to help them go to the Pure Land? That's his problem. We must pay. Okay, anyone else? You're not going to help us out? I mean, you're going to sit there and say, hey, let Master sweat. Huh? That's his problem, isn't it? Yeah, I remember. Oh. Yes, the old monk. Let's see what the old monk has to say. You're going to be teaching Pure Land up there. They're going to ask you that. The Vietnamese like to ask that, by the way.
Cái vấn đề chánh đó là trong Kinh Di Đà mình đọc mỗi ngày có nói là không phải thiểu thiện căn phước đức nhân duyên đắc sinh bỉ quốc. Cái phước đức nhân duyên mà không có đủ, nó không có sanh cái đó, mà chính cái miệng Đức Phật Thích Ca nói. Bây giờ anh nghèo, anh không có tiền, thì chứng tỏ là anh không có đủ phước. Thì anh làm cái gì đó, gieo duyên từng tầng từ từ rồi. Không phải là đời này mà đòi liền, thì có thể không có tiền thì đời nào đó anh gieo cái duyên có nguyện từng lần anh sẽ được. Còn cái người ta có tiền, người ta cúng, để cái tiền đó người ta trả nhà băng, trả tiền điện, tiền nước, hoặc ta lên cái chùa đó. Thì cũng như anh làm cái sức của anh thôi. Thì cái phước đó nó bỏ vô để anh giảng sanh. Mà đúng ra thì giảng sanh đó, theo mà nói thẳng ra đó, cái ông Elon Musk, ông gì đó, ông đi cái quả tiễn, ông gì chủ của cái Amazon đó, đi thử một chuyến vòng không gian thôi mà tốn mấy chục tỷ. Đi chơi cho sướng chút xíu là mấy chục tỷ. Còn này mà đi qua tới bên kia là vô lượng vô biên thế giới mà có 4-5 ngàn mà đứng than phiền. Thành ra cái gì cũng như là nhân quả thôi. Còn cái người nghèo giờ muốn đi thì vô làm công quả làm gì đó là là chất chứa lần là cũng được thôi. Cái gì cũng là lực nhân quả hết. Anh này anh đứng, anh theo đạo Phật mà anh không có hiểu cái luật nhân quả thì anh nói theo cá nhân nhưng thấy không có trúng.
You remember, old man, 4 sentences. You talk too much, they think you are flustered and you're trying to make excuses. Don't do that. 4 sentences or less. You cannot answer in 4 sentences. Then you say, I don't know. Okay? Yes, 4.
마음을 연 만큼 지갑이 열린다고 생각합니다.
Your wallet will be open as much as your mind is open. Mind is opened.
Too rich for me. These rich people, I have a wallet. Yes, 4.
We pay with so many ways more than just with money. You pay with helping. He pays with helping drive his mom to come to the temple, and he helps pay by volunteering around the temple too. You pay by giving to others. I just think there's more ways to pay than just with money.
Anyone else? Yes, 1. Say, 2. Yeah, 2 is first.
Mô Phật bạch thầy, cái đó dễ lắm thầy. Miễn mà cái đời người đó nó thiệt là nó muốn đi giảng sanh mà nó không có tiền đó, thì cái những người xung quanh bè bạn nghe được đó thì một người giúp một chút thì cái người đó nó cũng được đi nữa. Là cái đây là dễ dàng nhất là cái đó là cái từ bi của những người mà biết tu là phải làm như vậy. Mô Phật biết phải không thầy? Theo ý con là như vậy đó mô Phật.
Master, I think like there's a very easy way to do it. It's like if he cannot afford it, his friend, his neighbors around him can chip in and then can give him the money and then he can go. So that's a way to show the compassion from his friends and neighbors.
Okay, 1.
Thank you, Master. I skipped a step. In my experience, the best way to generate blessings for a job is to volunteer at temple with no expectation of any return on your investment.
Go ahead, Conk. Help your master out.
네, 정토에 가는 것이 너무나 중요하면 한데 돈이 없다면 돈을 빌리면 됩니다. 왜냐하면 아이나 부모님이 큰 사고를 당해서 아플 때 우리는 그때 돈이 없으면 빌려서라도 치료를 해서 낫게 하는 것처럼 정토는 목숨을 구하는 것보다 더 중요한 일인데 이를 위해서 돈이 없다는 돈을 저는 빌리면 된다고 생각합니다.
Going to the Pure Land is very important. However, you don't have any money. What I believe is, I think we need to borrow money. Because when your children or parents are sick or have an accident, and then we would borrow money to save their lives. So Pure Land is even more important. So I believe we should borrow money.
Okay, so she borrows money. If I were her husband, I'd be worried. What the hell is she up to now? Hey, yeah. Anyone else? Okay. Yes, go ahead.
저 같은 경우는 돈이 없었는데 보험을 깼습니다. 보험을 깨고 정토 입회를 시청했습니다.
In my case, I don't have any money. So what I did, I stopped paying my insurance, and with that money, I request a plaque.
Very good. Here's my answer. You asked that young man, point blank, never mind about the Pure Land. Just forget about Pure Land right now. Suppose someone that you don't know comes up to you and says, I would like to give you a Porsche, all paid for. All you have to do is decide which model you want. Okay? I promise you, I'll give it to you. Any model you like. Would you take it? Would you accept? What kind of person are you? Are you a beggar? When someone gives you something, yeah, thank you so much. You're not a beggar, are you? We are beggars. You're not a beggar. And yet, if someone gives you a house, a car, a boat, an airplane, you say, oh, thank you so much. I'm so lucky. Thank you, you're such a great person. What kind of person are you? So I'm asking you, would you accept? Yes, one.
Thank you, Master. If I could get the Porsche in red, and then I could park
Here we go again.
and then I could park it here at Way Mountain Temple, and I could leave the keys by the Dharma seat, I would accept the Porsche.
Okay, anyone else? Q&A.
Emitofuo, Master. I believe there are no free lunch. So if someone gives me the Porsche, I will tell them that what did I do or what should I do to deserve it.
Right. That's precisely my point. Okay? They own this, yes, 8.
No, I would just want to say, if I have a Porsche, I want to sell it. I get the money, I pay the debt, and then I donate to the temple.
And then you go to the Pure Land.
and go back and become a monk.
Shame on you. Meaning you take it, yes? You're not my disciple anymore. Yes, Diego.
I don't know, Master, because the gas is almost $5 the gallon, so I wouldn't take it. Yeah.
You see, you ask him. You go home, you ask him. Okay, I'm going to give you my house. I'm going to give you my bank account. Will you take it? You want some good things to happen to you, and you just take it without earning it. What kind of person are you? Huh? If you take it, then let me tell you, you probably won't go to a good place in the Pure Land. Okay? You understand? I'm teaching you to go to good places. If someone gives you something, you say, oh, thank you so much, and take it without feeling you deserve it, you're entitled to it, and whatever the reason you justify for yourself, then you're not going to go to a good quarter in the Pure Land. Yes, there is a quarters for such people, desperate people. Okay, yes, yeah. But we won't have to see them at all. Two.
Bữa nào có dịp đó thầy tiếp xúc với nói chuyện với nó để nó trả lời cho thầy, để thầy coi nó cái trình độ đi tới đâu. Chứ bây giờ mình nói nó còn giảng đạo hay hơn mình nữa. Ngộ như vậy đó, bởi vì mình làm cũng bởi vì đạo Phật nó là Phật dạy cái nào cũng đúng, trên tôi trong kinh Phật nó nói ra. Phật không có đòi tiền người ta đâu. Còn nói tới như vậy đó, tại vì nói về cái bố thí, nói về cái ấy, nó không có biết hiểu tới chỗ đó đó. Bởi vì tôi nói Phật nói câu nào cũng kêu người ta bố thí làm thiện hết trơn, chứ không phải là không có bố thí. Nó không có hiểu biết cái câu đó, mà nó biết nó là Phật nói chuyện là đúng hết, không có sai. Mô Phật.
Master, how about you have a talk with him, and then you will see how he will reply, because like this guy, he read a lot, he know a lot, and then he usually quote like, oh, the Buddha taught, but then he didn't ask for money. And then I know that he read a lot of books, but he didn't understand about giving. The Buddha also taught about giving and about doing good, but all he learned was from the book, so he didn't understand.
Bây giờ nó theo mình tới đây đó, thầy nghe thầy nói chuyện một mà nó hiểu tới 2 lần. Nó rất là thông minh, thằng lớn á. Rồi thằng nhỏ này đó bây giờ nói đó, trời đất ơi, nó cái đầu này chắc là khó cạo lắm đó thầy. Mô Phật.
Master, so my older son, he's very smart. Whatever Master taught, Master say one, and then he already understand 2. But the younger one, he's very headstrong, hard head, so it's very difficult to shave his head.
Anyone else? Any other comments? Yes, 5.
I feel she's imposing herself on him.
I ask you this. Someone comes to you, to your temple, and they say, I don't like the fact you asked me for money to go to the Pure Land. But you know what? Here's the money you want. Take it. Would you take? Huh? Would you take the money? I don't know about you, but I won't. I say, not interested. You treat me that way. Why should I take your money? You have no respect for me. I take the money in order to help you. If I take your money and it hurts you, I can't take your money. You don't believe. Why should I care? It's none of my business. I'm not trying to sell you anything. Fundamentally, your second son, the youngest son, doesn't believe. He thinks he understands Buddhism. He read about it. We live it 24 hours a day. Huh? He read a lot of books, maybe. I doubt he reads more about Buddhism than I did, but that's assume even he reads a lot, he understands a lot. Okay? Well, that's just words. These people, they live it 24 hours a day. They experience hunger. They experience being embarrassed and ostracized in public, and they're still here. And he dares judge them? What has he done himself in this life to say that I understand more about Buddhism than you? We live it. I lived this thing for 25 years. I learned this Dharma from the great Chinese sage. It's not my Dharma. It's a Chinese Dharma that was invented by the Chinese sages. And he knows nothing about it. There's no materials in English for this Dharma at all, because for some reason the Chinese will not translate it into English. Okay? So he knows nothing about this Dharma, and the first thing they do, not just him, but your relatives as well, say, oh, this temple asks for money for things. I mean, well, they're not pure. Of course we're not pure. We never claim we're pure. We're greedy like hell. It's true. We never claim we're pure. Are you kidding me? Did I ever walk like a pure person? Do I eat like a pure person? I love kimchi. I love, pizza. I love. I'm greedy like hell. So maybe that's why he doesn't believe. But the point is that these people, they just read books and they think they understand. It's not Buddhism at all. In Buddhism, if you want to understand Buddhism, you need to live it. Is that clear? You can't just read. You can't just talk. You have to live it. That's when you begin to understand. You don't live it, you don't understand anything. In other words, tonight, officially, I'm claiming that the scholars don't understand anything about Buddhism because they don't live it. How can they possibly understand what Buddhism is about? Buddhism is about learning how to live your life. It's not a philosophy at all. It's not a concept at all. It's about learning to live a good life, a meaningful life. So, worldly people just read about it and they learn a little bit about it and say, oh, I don't like this, I disagree with this, these people are greedy. So be it, we're greedy. It's true. If that turns you off, then don't go there. But there's some good stuff. And eventually, if you learn more about it, you understand it's not greed at all. You're the one who's greedy. The people who look at my face and say, you are greedy. You know what? So far, 100% of the times, those people who accuse me of greed actually are greedier than I am. Yes, I'm greedy, but that's my problem. Okay? Yes, I admit I'm greedy. However, those who accuse me of being greedy, and look down upon me are actually much worse. They're so much greedy. They're so icky. And why would I want to talk to your son? He's too a waste of my time. You think I spend time talking to people like that? You're kidding. I don't have that kind of time. You have to earn my time. You dare look at me, what I do, what all these smart, intelligent, successful people, they're here, they're learning about Dharma. You say, oh, you're so stupid. Hey, this is good. He's insulting all of you, you know that? I'm conning you, I'm making you pay to go to the Pure Land. What's the matter with you? I'm conning you. You can't even tell? That's what he's telling you. It's offensive to you. You should be offended. I'm not offended because I'm a beggar. Okay? People look down upon me, that comes with my job. Okay? When you look down upon me, I guarantee you it doesn't bother me at all because I chose to live like this. Okay? But you know what? He's looking down upon all of you. You are so stupid, naive that you get conned by a beggar like me. You should be offended. I'm not offended. You should be offended. He's indirectly insulting you, his mother. You're so stupid. I know better. You stupid old woman. Double meaning.
Mô Phật và Thầy. Mình nói sang chút nữa, giống ngày Hòa Thượng Tiên Hóa cũng vậy thôi. Ngày xưa đó, chưa ra được cái ánh sáng đó, thầy người ta nói một cái bài vậy, ai nào cũng chè môi chạy 70 thước. Con nói thiệt đó là con chứng kiến rất là nhiều cái chuyện đó. Tới sau này đó, người ta biết con Ngài là người đắc đạo đó. Người ta làm một cái bài vậy bao nhiêu chục ngàn người ta cũng làm hết đó thầy. Cái này là con người mình đó, mình phải thông cảm con người ta. Vô mình nó không có thấy được cái ánh sáng của người ta, chỉ có nhìn ở trong một cái bóng tối thôi. Đó là người ta mới làm như vậy, mới nói như vậy.
And very good. Okay, I translate. This is a...
Master, I personally witnessed like when Master YongHua, when he's still in dark, like not many people know about him. Whatever he say, people just pout their lips and then criticize him and run away. But until they learn that he already attained enlightenment, and you know what? For the black, whatever they set out the price at his temple, doesn't matter. They all accept it. And then, so that's why, like, people usually don't see until the people show themselves in the light.
We're not going to beat a dead horse, okay? Let me finish at this point. I can go on for, another half hour about this. Okay? He's so confused. But let me close out by making this one point here, okay? Behind me, there's someone who I've never met. Okay? He just heard about me, listened to the tapes, listened to the Pure Land Dharma door, and he says, my mother is dying on her deathbed. She's lying on her deathbed. She's suffering for all these many years. And I know she won't last much longer. And so what did he do? He says, there's something here that beggar talked about, something called 49 day. Okay, he's not Asian. He's here. Okay? His name is here. I'm not going to mention that in public to preserve his privacy. But he said, I love my mother dearly, and I want to do something for her. Okay, and this poor monk here talked about planning for her future lives. Help her go to a good place. After this, she suffers so much now. I hope she can go to a much better place. And you know, even though he never attended, he never came here, never talked to him, he says, you know, I take a chance. I will spend the money so that this guy does his work, so that she can go to a good place. I'm talking about a case of these people who care so much for their loved ones. And they said, even if if this guy, this beggar, misrepresent the facts, but he's talking about something, giving me a means to take care of my mother, to show my mother I love her dearly. Okay? If in doing so, he cons me and gets some money out of me, so be it. I'm doing it because I love my mother. And I really pray to God, to Buddha, to Vishnu, whoever, that she makes it. That's the kind of people I like to help. Not these people who say, here, here's money, take it, take it, take it. You understand? This is a Dharma of love, the Dharma of compassion. It may not work for him, but it worked for a lot of people the last 15 years. I've been conning people for 15 years already. And he thinks he can read about me, about the books, and listen to this in an hour, understands what we're doing, and negate this beautiful Dharma that's invented by the Chinese sages. Okay, and he's not the only one. There are plenty of people out there who don't believe. And that brings me to the final point. Trust me. You cannot go to the Pure Land unless you believe. You don't believe, forget it. Let's not talk about money. Money is just a test of your belief. Do you think you can go to the Pure Land? Someone tells you go to the Pure Land and you only have to pay 500, 5,000, 50,000, 50 million? How much are you willing to pay? Ask yourself. You must, if you don't have faith in the Pure Land Dharma door, forget it. You're not going to make it. Yes, 5.
From San Jose, Daniel. How should I go from desperate to not desperate? Does it come with bettering yourself on this path?
Yes. Q&A, that's it? Okay. Time is up. It's 9 o'clock. There's a Q&A. There's another comment. Let's do it quickly. Yes, go ahead.
Thưa Thầy, con có một cái muốn chia sẻ một cái bài vị mà con đã thỉnh cho một người, cũng không phải họ hàng, mà người này là má vợ của chú con. Thì cái câu chuyện nó cũng hơi dài, không biết còn thời gian hay không.
Sure, tell the story if it helps my cause.
Thì bà mất vào cái ngày mà Bồ Tát Quan Thế Âm thành đạo, thì phải hồi tháng 7, 18 tháng 7 vừa rồi. Thì lúc ngày đó mất là con nhớ là Chủ nhật, thành ra con có thỉnh liền một cái bài vị tạm thời vãng sanh. Thì sau đó thì con cứ nghĩ là thì cái đó là tại vì mình nghe thì mình hiểu vậy thôi, thì mình cũng xin thỉnh một ngày, tại vì cũng không phải là họ hàng, chỉ là chỉ là mẹ vợ của chú. Thì sau đó thì con có cứ niệm Phật, cứ mỗi ngày con vô chùa là con cứ lạy xuống Phật, và con nói là cho bà đi vãng sanh. Thì Thì trong một cái giấc mơ thì con thấy là con đến một cái chỗ đó, cái nhà nó cũng âm u, cái nhà giống như nhà gỗ mà âm u, mà trong đó có rất là nhiều phòng. Thì có một người dẫn con đến một cái nhà đó, và con nhìn cái người đó và con nói: ủa, cái nhà này con đã tới rồi mà tại sao bây giờ hôm nay lại thêm nhiều phòng như vậy? Trong mỗi phòng là có mỗi loại người khác nhau mà người ta vẫn sinh hoạt bình thường. Rồi có người Mỹ, người Á, và cái nhà nó rất là nhiều tầng mà mỗi tầng nó lại khác biệt nhau cái level. Thì cái lúc mà con đi lên một cái phòng đó thì con thấy một cái người phụ nữ nằm trên một cái giường đắp toàn bằng khăn trắng, trẻ. Thực sự ra thì con cũng không có nhìn mặt, thấy rõ mặt. Thì con mới hỏi cái người mà dẫn con tới đó, thì con chỉ biết là một người đàn ông thôi, mà con cũng không có nhớ cái mặt. Thì con hỏi là: ồ, cái nhà này sao lạ vậy? Hồi đó tôi đã tới đây rồi mà sao bây giờ sao mà hình như là mới thêm phòng phải không? Thì người đó cứ cười cười mà cũng không nói. Rồi khi mà bước đến cái phòng đó thì chỉ có duy nhất một cái người cô đó đang nằm ở đó, và đắp cái khăn trắng, toàn bộ trên cái giường là màu trắng hết. Thì lúc con tỉnh dậy thì con cứ trong lòng con cứ nhớ là: ô, là bà là chắc chưa có đi, mà chắc là đang nằm chờ. Thành ra con muốn gọi cái người vợ của chú để con hỏi là: ồ, bữa giờ cô khóc lắm hả hay sao? Hay con hỏi tình hình. Thì cổ nói là cổ không có let go được, không có để cho bà đi được, tại vì cổ rất là nhớ, mà cứ nằm xuống là khóc. Không biết, chắc để cho cô Nhẫn, xin mời cô Nhẫn từ từ được.
So, Master, this story is a little bit long, but let me try to summarize it. So, this is my experience to request a black for the person that a distant, it's not really my relative, but it's like the mom of his uncle's wife. So I remember that she died on the day that Kuan Yin attained enlightenment. It was on a Sunday, July 18. So I remember it Sunday is like the moment I heard about it, I immediately request the black. I request a temporarily black for the lady. I didn't really know much about the black, but then I just requested. And then every time I went to the temple, I recite the Buddha's name, and then I make a wish that it will help her to go to the Pure Land. And then I got a dream that I visited a house, but like it looked like a very dark place, and then it has a lot of room and a lot of level. And then a person that lead me there, and then I talked to him. I say like, I remember I already been in this place, but it looks like it was. There's more room was adding up. And then the guy looked at me, and then he would just laugh and smile, and then he didn't really say anything. So he took me to the room, and I remember I saw a lady was laying on the bed, and everything was covered in white. And after I finished that dream, and then I have a thought like maybe this lady was waiting, she cannot go. And then I call my uncle's wife and ask like, is it true that you've been crying and about your mom lately? And then she admit that she couldn't let go of her mom. And then every time she thought about her, or she lay down, and then she cried a lot.
Thăm mẹ lần nào. Thành ra khi mà con có dịp con về đó thì con cũng có gặp bà một lần, là tại vì cổ nhờ đem đồ về, thì bà mới nói là con may quá con về được, còn cô là cô đã đi lâu lắm rồi mà cô chưa có về. Thì con mới nói là ôi thôi, để về kỳ này con về lại thì con sẽ hối cô chú đi về thăm bà. Thì cái định đó là định xảy ra vào năm 2020, đó là định là sẽ mua vé này nọ, rồi là chuẩn bị là hè 2020 là phải về, thì cái Covid đi. Thì bà là chết lại cũng vì Covid, và Thì trong cái giấc mơ của con á, thì con lại thấy cái giấc mơ khác. Thì con thấy là cái cách làm sao mà bà bị chết là cái lúc đó là tại vì tim, thật sự ra là bị tim mà chết mà người ta đưa vô bệnh viện trong Việt Nam thì lúc đó là cũng phải ra là bà bị Covid, thành ra là cũng thiêu luôn ở trong đó. Và từ sau cái giấc mơ đó là con cứ khóc liên tục. Cái cảm xúc mà giống như kiểu là ân hận, hối hận mà cũng không biết tại sao. Thành ra cuối cùng con cũng thỉnh cái bài vị vãng sanh 49 ngày cho bà. Thì trong cái lúc đó thì con vẫn cứ tiếp tục là cầu nguyện là ok thôi bà đi thì bà cứ đi là để cho sẽ gặp được cô thôi. Nhưng mà không hiểu sao thì tới lúc đó thì khoảng cái tuần thứ 3 đó thì con thấy là lúc đó con đang ngồi thiền chung với bà thì bà vãng sanh. Thành ra con cũng hiểu thì theo như con thật sự là nào giờ con tin cái pháp thôi, nhưng mà con thật sự không có hiểu cái process nó sẽ như thế nào. Nhưng mà tự qua cái con thấy là rất là kỳ diệu. Dạ, và con chỉ muốn chia sẻ cho tôi là con thật sự không biết cái pháp này như thế nào đâu. Con cũng không có đọc nhiều, thật ra con chỉ nghe, con thấy cái sự việc như vậy và con thỉnh. Và bà là không có quan hệ gì với con hết. Dạ, con xin hết.
So it turned out that the daughter has been trying to came back and visit the mom, but because of COVID, that even though they bought a ticket, but it was delayed, and then she couldn't make it to Vietnam. And turned out that her mom died because of COVID, but then from my dream, I saw that she died from the heart problem. And then when she also infected with COVID, and then she died in the hospital. So the daughter couldn't make it to visit the mom, so that's why she was crying a lot. And then after I learned the story, so I requested 49-day black, and I make a wish that she can go to the Pure Land. And like 3 weeks after she died, and then I saw that I was meditating with her, and I saw that she went to the Pure Land. So I don't really, I heard about the Dharma, but I don't really understand about process. But because of the experience that I went through, that I would like to share with people about what happened. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for sharing with us. Okay, we stop here tonight. I'm sorry it went a little bit over time. Let's do the great transference.